If you guys want to be in with a chance of winning a £25 Xbox or PlayStation gift card in my February giveaway, all you need to do is leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. Best of luck and enjoy the video. Hey guys, it's Ware here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be updating you guys on a big promo returning to FIFA 19, and that is of course for the UEFA Champions League, which starts again on Tuesday the 12th of February, and that's in under a week's time now. You guys may remember we had a lot of content associated with the Champions League earlier on in this game. We of course had the Champions League upgrade packs, which were very popular, the Champions League marquee matchups, and I think this time, given that we have this card design right here available in the database, we could have some more Champions League SBCs for specific players. You can expect this new content to drop on Tuesday and Wednesday, so that is the 12th and 13th of February. It will then go away for a week and return the following week when you have the second set of those round of 16 matches. It's split up with 4 games each week. So we start off with Roma against Porto, United against PSG, Tottenham against Dortmund, and Ajax against Real Madrid. I think we'll probably have a UEFA marquee matchups SBC, either comprising all 4 of those fixtures or the 2 standout ones, which are probably United against PSG and Tottenham against Dortmund. We're also probably going to have a Champions League upgrade SBC, which gives you those Champions League blue cards, and you'll have to trade in a certain number of rare cards with a certain chemistry requirement to get that. And I think, as I've already mentioned, we will have some big SBCs for some of the premium Champions League items. So these are probably going to be from certain clubs. We're going to have a standout player, maybe one from each of the different clubs involved in these round of 16 matches. Although EA may save these for a little bit later on, maybe for the quarterfinals, and then they'll release some really big cards then. Not 100% sure, but I know pretty much for a fact that we will have those marquee matchups SBCs, so you can make some good investments there. And I'm also going to update you guys a bit with what you need to do to prepare for this promo, because certain cards are going to drop a lot in price and you guys need to make sure that you've sold them before the promo starts. First of all, I'd recommend picking up a couple of gold cards from every single one of the teams in the round of 16. This is in preparation for the Champions League marquee matchups SBC. I'm not 100% sure whether or not EA will cover all of the different matches and go with a full set of 4 different fixtures for the marquee matchups, or do just 2 games. They've done a mixture of both for the different marquee matchups so far this year. If you don't really want to cover the smaller games, you can just cover the big games, which are pretty much guaranteed to be included. But basically, just look at a full list. I'll leave a link down below in the description of all the teams playing in the round of 16 and go and pick up a few cards from them. So for example, Man United, they're playing PSG. That's a standout fixture, so if they just narrow it down and do a few, then you can get some good investments from them. And you just want to find basically the cheapest cards from these clubs. Now, I'm not 100% sure what they're really going to be, but as you can see, for under 1,000 coins, you can get the likes of Lingard, Bailly and Luke Shaw. They're all some really good investments there. You've got Young, Darmian and Lindelof as well. These are all really good types of cards to get. If you guys can pick them up at a decent price, there we go, we've got one there. Can we get a Lingard as well? No, we can't. But you can try and obviously snipe these cards to get yourself some even better deals. As you can see, there are some super cheap cards appearing on the market. And if you guys manage to pick them up, literally just store them in your club. That's all you need to do. Keep them in your club, and they're going to rise in the hype before these fixtures anyway, but you can just keep them really, because I pretty much guarantee that we will have SBCs requiring these cards. It's almost guaranteed. I mean, I really have no idea why EA wouldn't do the marquee matchups SBCs for the Champions League. And they're also very popular. So many people complete these because generally you get a Champions League upgrade pack giving you a tradable player in return. So literally everyone who has any coins does the SBCs, and that means the players in the requirements always rise up loads and loads in price and can make you a lot of profit. You basically just want to cover all the big teams, the favourites, the teams that are likely to go a long way in the Champions League, as they're going to be your best bets in terms of investment. So Man City cards are really good, Man United cards are decent ones, PSG as well, very safe investment there. You can get plenty of super cheap cards from them. Going over to the Serie A, you've of course got Juventus, they're a standout one. You've also got Roma, who are playing against Porto, so you've got a few investments there. And then if we go and take a look, for example, the Bundesliga, you've obviously got Dortmund, you've got Bayern Munich too. They're playing Liverpool, so they're pretty much guaranteed to have an SBC for that. Liverpool players as well, obviously you can go ahead and pick some of those up. And then heading over to La Liga, we have of course got the big 2, Barcelona and also Real Madrid. So obviously you can go and get yourself a few players from those types of teams there. Also, you've got Ajax, you've got Porto, you've got Lyon as well, Atletico Madrid, of course, they're in there, Schalke, all these different teams. So go and get yourself a few players from each of them, store them in your club, forget about them, wait until these SBCs come out, and that way you can either complete them cheaply or sell them for profit. Moving away from investing, something that you guys definitely need to be aware of is the price of these Champions League cards. The blue cards right here that you guys can see, we've got a lot of them. They were very popular early on in the game, but now they're kind of being phased out by a lot of other special items, and they're less common, and they're dropping down in value because of that as well. But there's been a very, very little supply of these. We haven't had any SBCs giving these out since the Champions League group stages, and that was well over a month ago now. So these types of cards here, they're fairly rare on the game. There aren't that many of them right now, and they haven't been in packs for ages, as I said. So expect these cards here to really plummet in price if we have any SBCs that give these out, which I expect we will have. So if you guys do happen to have any of these cards here, any of the Champions League cards, I'd recommend selling them sooner rather than later, because they're just going to plummet in price if they're released again. You always see it whenever they get released, they drop down in value. They always seem to rise up and recover afterwards, but I think that's going to happen a little bit less now, just because we've got so many better cards. Like early on in the game, a lot of big players didn't have any informs or any special cards yet, so the Champions League cards were the best versions of them. For really big name players like Ronaldo, for example, that was the case up until fairly recently. He got an inform this week, but for the majority of players, they've now got better versions. So on the whole, these types of cards are really going to depreciate a lot in value. All the Champions League cards, if we have any more supply of them, it's just naturally what happens with supply and demand. They will drop down in price, so I'd make sure that you sell any of these cards. If you've got any sat in your club, make sure you sell them. Some players will recover more than others. I think Benjamin Mendy, for example, is a good example. You've got a few options like that. Antonio Valencia is another. Cards that play in popular positions where they don't have a special item yet. Courtois is another good example. That's his best version. Basically, if there's any really popular players whose best version is a Champions League card, they're going to recover a good amount, so they could potentially be some good investments for you to maybe pick up. You've got Fred, for example, who's a decent one, although he's less popular nowadays. Maybe someone like David Alaba. A few types of players, but on the whole, these players are just going to drop down in price, and then drop down even more when the SBCs are released, if they do give any of these out. I'm not guaranteeing that we are going to see SBCs with these types of players, but it's pretty likely. It is pretty likely with the Champions League. It may have just been to do with the group stages, but I don't think it will be. I think we're going to have this for the following rounds of the Champions League, but they're probably going to be a little bit better, the packs, because they're only going to be giving out, I assume, players who are in the round of 16, so we won't have any of those like smaller club players who weren't really as good. So we're mainly going to have a selection of better players to potentially pack. I'm not 100% sure. I think that could be the case, but just to stay on the safe side, make sure that you've sold those types of cards there. We also have the Champions League live items here, the Road to the Final cards. I'm not sure if these will be re-released in packs. I doubt it, but there's a slight possibility that EA may add those back into packs. Not 100% sure. But expect those cards to rise up a lot in hype, a lot in price in the hype before those games, just because they have the potential to obviously be increased in rating. And we obviously have the Europa League cards as well. Don't want to ignore those. These are live items too. You've got Rebic, you've got Ben Yedder, you've got some pretty decent players there. So I think these will also rise up a lot in hype, in price in the hype. And I think that the Champions League and Europa League games are going on at the same time. We also still have a few Team of the Group stage cards available too. I think those cards, there's not really going to be any more supply of them. They're still fairly rare, so you don't really need to worry too much with those. Although, bear in mind that possibly we may have better versions of some of those cards released. There may be new Champions League cards with the same card design possibly, but maybe like a boosted rating potentially for the cards in the round of 16. I'm really not sure. You guys know how big the Champions League is, obviously in real life as a competition in football, but on FIFA it's something that EA are really trying to promote. It's their new big thing they've got the licensing for, and they're really driving a lot of content with it, or at least earlier on, obviously, when we had the Champions League. It's not been on for a couple of months now, but when it comes back, I think EA are going to really bring out a lot of content for it. It's their big new thing, so you never know what we could expect. I think there's going to be some big stuff though, so definitely make sure that you're up to date with the market. Make sure you've sold some of these cards, which we could potentially be seeing a big increase in supply of on the market. with a decreased demand compared to what we used to have, as I've already said, because there are now better versions of these cards. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Make sure that you guys invest by covering all those big teams. That way you can make easy profit with those marquee matchups, SBCs. And make sure you've sold these cards. That's all you really need to know. If you've got any questions, you can let me know down below in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like on it, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care.